Good morning, YouTubers. Kill Jezebel here. I told you I was back. I'm gonna be pumping out more videos, new topics of discussion about narcissistic abuse. And I got a few surprises up my sleeve. I'm just glad to be back with my YouTube community. So this morning I'm gonna give you a quick video. Good morning. Good morning. This is we're in mid-April 2019. I hope everyone's 2019 is going as planned. If you made those resolutions for New Year's, I hope you're sticking to them. Any type of goals, stay true to your goals no matter how hard it gets. Let's see here. I want to talk about hoovering being a form of disrespect. Okay. This is when we all know what hoovering is. And for those of you that are newcomers, I'll just briefly, let you know, hoovering is a form of, I guess it's a form of stalking. If you want to say that, it's when, after the breakup, your ex narcissist comes, prying, poking around, trying to test the temperament, trying to test the waters to see if you'll take them back. So that, and if you do take them back, all they will do is just pick up where they left off, and they will abuse you all over again and discard and ghost you. Okay, so hoovering, like the Hoover vacuum cleaner, is a form of sucking someone back into a toxic relationship. Okay, so I get a lot of questions about hoovering. One thing that I'm noticing and have been noticing, and I'm guilty of it, I did it, when I didn't know much about narcissism. After that breakup, you're dealing with the trauma bond. You're trying to cope with the PTSD. I mean, it's very traumatizing. It's emotionally, it's just the pain is incredible, so you're seeking some type of validation. Right? You just want to hear something from your ex. You want some type of closure. You want to know why, how, didn't we mean something? Didn't this relationship mean something? How could you? Why would you? We want all of these questions answered. We're seeking validation. I mean, do you still love me? A lot of us get it confused that, just because the narcissist comes back to hoover, it validates us in some type of way. We need and seek that validation. And I'm here to correct you. That is the wrong way. This is why it is so very important to distance yourself, set up those boundaries and stick to them. Get a restraining order if you have to, but you must make the narcissist respect your privacy, your boundaries, and your healing process. And you have to be militant and vigilant about it. Very much. Because a lot of us look for, we're seeking that validation. We're seeking some type of closure. We feel that if the narcissist, he might be with the new person, he or she may be with the new person, but if they come back and say, hey, I love you and I miss you, I'm sorry what I did, they give us crumbs, table scraps of an explanation with no closure, and then they ghost again. That's some type of validation. I'm here to tell you, no, the fuck it is not. It is not. This is where it is time for us as empaths to work on our codependency issues and our self-esteem. This is where you have to dig into your childhood, you got to look in that mirror and get real with yourself. And you have to say, why did I attract this person into my life? Why do I continue to date narcissistic people? What is it about me? How can I stop this from happening again down the line? Where do I begin? Because let me tell you something, hoovering is not validation. The narcissist does not hoover to validate you. The narcissist does not hoover because he or she misses you. The narcissist doesn't hover because he or she wants you back into their life. And if they do want you back, it's for all the wrong reasons. It's not what you think it is. They're hovering you for more supply. They're hovering you because they don't want no one else eating up their supply. You were a juicy form of supply. You were grade A supply. And the thought of losing that supply, not you. Please separate the supply from the persona. Separate the supply from the human being. You are a battery full of energy. And the narcissist is looking to drain your battery and dispose of you. That's all you are to the narc. It is a hard pill to swallow. It is a hard truth, but it is what it is. And the more that you come to terms with reality and deal with reality, deal with the truth of it all, the faster you will heal, and the more wisdom you will obtain. So that hovering, a lot of us crave that hover. We're looking for that hover because that hover makes us feel special inside. It makes us feel validated. It makes us feel wanted, and that all the hard work that we invested into that relationship wasn't in vain. No. You've got it wrong. That hover is a form of disrespect. That hover attempt is a slap in the face. That hover attempt is an insult to your intelligence. Let me tell you something. The goal is to not seek a hover. The goal is to lessen the hovers, because the more that the narcissist stops hovering you, few and far between. We all know that they don't discard us. We control the final discard, and they always will stalk. The stalking never stops. They can silently stalk you from a distance. They can stalk you online and you not know. They can drive past your house without you knowing. They can get away with the stalking. They know how to covertly stalk from a distance, and unfortunately, we have no control over that, right? However, the hover attempts, the one thing that the narcissist fears when he or she hovers is rejection. They fear rejection and abandonment. So every time that they come around to hover, sniffing around, checking the temperament to see if you're dumb enough to allow them back in so that they can kick you in your teeth again, the more that you reject those hover attempts, the more that the narcissist will fear you. He or she fears that narcissistic injury, which is a devastating blow to their ego and their pride and their already tainted self-esteem. You must continue to reject the hover. There's no need to explain yourself, because they love baiting you into conversations that go nowhere, that run in circles, that end up with you coming undone and emotionally unhinged, and then they ghost because you've given them some sort of supply. The need to explain yourself, the need to answer their questions, the need to answer their accusations, do not give them anything. The only thing you should give them is, please leave me alone or else I will report you to the police. That's it. And if they continue, you do what you have to do, and you go file that police report, and you follow up, and you get you a TPO, a temporary order of protection, or a permanent restraining order. It's different rules in different states. I know here in New York State, you can file for a TPO, temporary order of protection, as long as you have a police report filed. So you got to do what you got to do. But the more that you reject those hover attempts, I don't care if it's them coming at you, texting, calling from a fake number, spamming, whether they send flying monkeys, friends, family to contact you, to stalk you on social media. That hovering comes in all different forms. Okay. Hovering comes in many different forms. You must reject all of them. And you have to expect the hover. Expect the hover, but do not expect validation, because hovering is not a form of validation. The narcissist does not want to validate you, and he or she will never validate you. They're the ones seeking validation. If you let them back into your life, you have successfully validated their ego. You have successfully validated their control over you. You have successfully validated their power over you. Okay? And when you let them back in, they're going to break you and disappear. And you're back to square one, trying to find some type of validation. I'm here to let you know the only way that you can be validated is through yourself. God has already validated. You've been validated from the time you were born. Okay? You're already validated. So why are you out here seeking validation from someone who doesn't even know who they are to begin with? Someone who is so toxic and demonic within their ways and how they treat mankind. They don't even know who they are themselves. They're lost and a negative and disgusting, vile human beings. Why would you want to seek validation from someone like that? Why would you want to seek closure? There is no closure with a narcissist. So you must understand, you cannot take the hoovering as a form of validation. It's not validation. It's a form of disrespect. It's a slap in the face, an insult to your intelligence, because the more that they feel that they can hoover you, in their minds, they feel that you're a fucking doormat that they can walk all over. That's what hoovering means to a narcissist. You're easy to walk all over. You're easy to manipulate. They can come in and out like a revolving door because you're too weak to put your foot down. If I sound too blunt, I'm sorry. But sometimes we need that extra kick in the butt to wake the fuck up when you're dealing with these horrible types of people. All right? So I'm going to leave you guys on this note. Reject that hoover. It's not a form of validation. You're never going to get closure with a narc. You have to give yourself closure. You have to validate yourself. All right? Until next time, this is Kill Jezebel. Be blessed.